What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to HPA. Today I have a question for you. Very important question for you. It's actually $1 million question. Okay. Have you ever set up dominoes to where you create like an intricate design or like a snake or whatever it is? You knock one domino over and the rest of them, it starts a chain reaction and the rest of them all fall over and create cool designs. Or have you ever seen someone do that? I've never personally done it, but I've seen it done on social media and on YouTube. That same principle of knocking one domino over and making everything fall into place is the same principle that dictates your life, whether you know it or not. And today, the $1 million question that I want to ask you is, what do you feel is that domino, that one domino, where if you knock it over, every single thing that you're trying to achieve in your life falls into place. Everything lines up. That's the question today. And before I give you the answer, I want you to understand something. As a high performance individual, as someone in a production-based business, because you guys are all in real estate. I'm a performance coach. We're all in production-based businesses here. If you're watching this, you're in a production-based business. For people that are in production-based businesses, the most important thing that we can do to achieve the results that we want is not just taking the right actions. It's not just doing the thing. It's not just staying healthy. It's not just leading our teams properly. It's not just being great leaders. What it comes down to is focusing on the precursor to all of those things, which is that domino. Because if we focus on that precursor, everything else falls into place. Okay? And so what I have found to be the precursor, the big domino, that you knock it over, everything else falls into place. Everything that you're trying to achieve becomes more efficient, easier to manage, more effective overall, is waking up at 5 a.m. sharp. 5 a.m. every single day and carving out 30 minutes of time for your own personal development to where you can get clarity on the vision that you hold to be true about your life, on the alignment that you need to have so that your choices and daily decisions are in alignment with the best version of yourself, and to allow you to anchor your day in gratitude so that nothing phases you, right? That's what it is. And so I want to ask you, and I want you to leave a comment down below. Let me just pull up my comment section here, okay? Anyone who's watching this live, let me know. Do you have a morning routine? Yes or no? Comment, leave me a comment down below. Do you have a morning routine? If you do have a morning routine, what time is that morning routine at? Is it at 6 a.m.? Is it at 7 a.m.? Is it 5 a.m.? Is it earlier? Because to every single person watching this video right now or listening to the podcast, I want to encourage you and motivate you to get up at 5 a.m. There's a few main reasons. 5 a.m. is a time where nothing's going on, okay? And if you're in the Pacific time zone, I want you to understand something. This is most important for you. Okay, because if you're in the Eastern time zone, yeah, you can sleep until 6. Stuff's not really happening anywhere in the country. Yeah, maybe you can get away with sleeping until 7 because nothing's happening in the country. But guess what? If you're in the Pacific time zone and you sleep in till 6 and it takes you 30 or 45 or minutes or an hour to get out of bed, it's already 9:30, 9:45, 10 a.m. on the East Coast. You don't have time to sleep in. You don't, period. Unless you've created the life that you've always wanted, where you have the finances that you want, the income that you want, the family that you want, the body that you want, where you've achieved everything that you could possibly ask for in this life, you don't deserve to sleep in. Okay. And I know that's harsh, but it's true. Okay. 5 a.m. is the time where anywhere in the country, coast to coast, no one is awake. No one is doing anything. The business world is asleep. There's no emails coming in. There's no phone calls coming in. There's not people pulling you in a million ways. Hopefully at 5 a.m. your kids aren't awake yet. My kid's been waking up at 5:30 this week. It's been kind of crappy. But what I will say is hopefully your kids aren't awake. Hopefully your wife doesn't need anything, right? It's time where you can truly focus on you. I'm going to give you guys one more thing here, okay, before we move on. We are, as men in business, or women in business, if you're listening to this as a woman, we are so focused on our businesses, so focused on taking care of our families, so focused on breadwinning, so focused on providing, so focused on being our best self. that sometimes it's easy to let ourselves get lost, right? It's so easy to let ourselves get lost in the hustle and bustle of everything, working 8-hour days, 10-hour days, 12-hour days, whatever it is. I want to remind you right now that you have a responsibility to yourself to take care of yourself, right? And so if you don't have time, if you don't have any time in the day to truly take care of yourself, to truly work on you, work on your personal development, work on your learning, work on your spirituality, work on your clarity, work on your visions for your life, work on your health, then what's the point, right? You're just going to be stressed. You're just going to have a hard time with everything. And so the reason why that big domino that sets a chain reaction off and lays everything into the right place is raising your wake up time is because it allows you to take care of yourself, right? I speak to, man, I got to tell you, I speak to probably 20 plus real estate professionals a day in my business. And the amount of you guys that aren't waking up early is absolutely staggering to me. It's absolutely staggering. If you do wake up early, I want you to leave a comment below this video. I want you to let us know what time you wake up, what your morning routine looks like. But if you're not waking up early, man, I honestly and truthfully feel sorry for you because something's always going to be off in your life, right? And this is the last thing I'm going to leave you guys with before I end this podcast because I want to keep these to 10 minutes. If you aren't waking up at 5 a.m., something's going to be off in your life, whether it's your health, whether it's the time that you spend with your family, whether it's your business, whether it's your business production, whether it's time for yourself. Something is always going to be off if you're not waking up early enough to create the time that you need for yourself. Something's always going to be off. And so if you're listening to this podcast right now or watching this video right now and you know, hey man, my health is in a really bad spot, or hey man, my business isn't doing as good as I want it to, or hey man, my relationship with my wife or my kids or with my family members isn't as good because I don't have time, you need to wake up earlier, okay? If you're waking up at 6, you need to wake up at 5. If you're waking up at 7, you need to wake up at 5. Imagine if you're waking up at 8 a.m. right now or 7:30 a.m. You get 2.5 additional hours of time that you can focus on being great, doing more, becoming better. If you multiply that over the course of a year, you've got 10 plus weeks of 40-hour work weeks that you add to your life. Ask yourself that. What can you accomplish in 10 additional weeks of 40-hour work weeks this year? Because that's what we're talking about. Okay. So guys, I hope you all had an amazing week. Next week is going to be a really special week. We have a special guest coming in that's going to be talking about social media marketing. So stay tuned for that. Next Friday at 11 a.m. is our next podcast. These podcasts are going to be every Friday. If you guys have any questions about installing high performance habits, if you hear what I say and it resonates with you, but at the same time, you don't know how to get started, you don't know how to have the discipline to wake up on time. When you wake up, you just snooze because you don't know how to actually get out of bed because you're not motivated enough to get out of bed, then let's talk. Because until we iron out the visions that you have for the next 5-10 years of your life, until we iron out your purpose, your visions, your goals, and get extremely clear on everything that you want to achieve, waking up is going to be extremely difficult. And the second thing is, until waking up early and being a high performance person becomes a part of who you are, it's always going to be optional. Okay. It's not going to be non-negotiable. Right, guys? So we need to iron these things in as non-negotiable. We need to iron these things in as parts of who we are. We need to iron them in as pieces of what we're trying to do, what we're trying to achieve. And ultimately, we need to lock these things in as pieces that make us who we are. All right, guys? So raise your wake-up time, elevate your life. If you want to learn more about the program, how it works, how we can get you into the best performing zone that you've ever been in, to elevate your mindset, elevate your wake up time, and raise your life, then I want you to comment below this video with the word mindset, or DM me with the word mindset. Or if you're listening to the podcast, reach out to me on social media and I'll be happy to talk to you guys. All right. Have an amazing day. Super excited to see you in next week's episode. Take care.